Thank the chairman very much. Welcome, Chairman Ferguson, to the committee. I want to thank you for the work that you have done and that you are doing. You had a very extensive statement, footnoted more than any other statement I think I've read for an opening statement. I thought I was reading a law brief. But having said that, it was very comprehensive. But one of the things I noticed in it, and I say this at the outset, well, I'm going to ask questions later. I'm going to be going in and out. It has nothing to do with your testimony. It has to do with, we have two hearings going on at the same time. One of my top priorities, Mr. Chairman, as you know, throughout my time in Congress, has been making our workers, our businesses, and our entire economy more competitive. That's why I, as Majority Leader, started the agenda that I called Make It in America, which obviously is a double entendre. People came to America to make it, to succeed. But also, the way we're going to succeed better is to make it, whatever it may be, in America. We're moving towards that effort. But as you point out in your statement, it can be a self-defeating effort the larger one enterprise gets and other enterprises are left by the wayside. Many of the historic bills we passed in the 117th Congress, including the CHIPS and Science Act, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, and the Inflation Reduction Act, were designed to promote competition and to grow manufacturing and our science research in America. That's the objective we ought to all share. If you support innovation, if you support growth, if you support development, then you have to support competition. I tell my Democrats, if you want to be pro-worker, you need to be pro-employer. Both need to be in equilibrium. Both have a role to play, and both need a referee. You talked about cop on the beat, referee. If you recognize the importance of the free market as I do, then you have to recognize how crucial it is to keep it free and keep it a market. The FTC is essential to that mission to promote fair competition and protect American consumers. It breaks up monopolies that inflate the price of everything from groceries to gas to health care. It protects Americans from scam calls, fraud, and unfair business practices. It stands up for Americans' privacy rights, going after businesses that misuse or fail to secure their personal data. One thing I may just, it ticks me when I get advertisements that I don't ask for on this device, which I own. I don't know whether there's a solution to that, because obviously they got to pay for the product they give me, in quotes. But that's a particular concern I have you may pay attention to. The FTC needs to maintain public trust and credibility to do this vital, nonpartisan work. Now, I mentioned nonpartisan work, but I was starting to say, let me say, I notice at least 3 times in the opening sort of synopsis of your statement that you use the term the Trump-Vance FTC. I was caught by that because I don't see that very often in statements that are made. Actually, it's America's FTC. Now, you're appointed, you're a Republican, I'm a Democrat, so we have different points of view. But we need to make sure that the agenda of the administration really needs to be, in this case, from your perspective, the agenda of what the FTC is intended to do. Now, we may have differences on that, but I would urge you to do it in as nonpartisan a way, and very frankly, I urge your predecessor to do the same thing. There would be different views as to whether that was accomplished. The FTC needs to maintain public trust and credibility, as I said, and that will help, I think. That's why the agency has always been independent. I'm deeply concerned by this administration's efforts, frankly, to undermine not only the independence that naming it the Trump-Vance FTC would imply, but it also seems to me creeping into almost everything we do, where so-called non-loyalists are being fired, They need to be loyal to the country and to the oath that we all take to the Constitution and the laws thereof, not to any individual or group of individuals. In March, Donald Trump violated 90 years of Supreme Court precedent when he fired 2 Democratic FTC commissioners without any legal cause, which under the law is required. Those 2 commissioners are challenging that action in court. I hope they win. And if it's anything like the dozens of other cases we've seen in the past 4 months, I believe the courts will likely rule against the administration. One more minute. Nevertheless, the Trump's attempt to politicize the FTC ought to concern us all. So should the reports that Elon Musk and his Doge agents may be able to access sensitive financial data the FTC compiles on American businesses, including Musk's competitors. That is the opposite of the FTC's purpose, and we must not let it happen. Democrats and Republicans need to come together to protect this vital institution and ensure that it has the resources it needs to keep serving the American people. I thank FTC's Chair Ferguson for joining us today, and I hope that he can address some of these concerns and speak to the importance of this funding. The American people are counting on the FTC, and the FTC is counting on this committee.